Hi everybody, it's Janelle and Dave.
Hey everybody.
From WebSmartGuru, and we're just going to have a chat to you today about backlinks. Now, I'm not sure if you've actually heard of backlinks before. If you have a website and you use the website for your business, you really should be understanding what backlinks are. Backlinks are just really a reference to your website, to your actual website address, that come from a different place on the internet. It might be from a blog. You might have somebody who's written a blog, they have said some great things about you, and they've got your website address in there. So that's a backlink. Social media posts, the same thing goes. Make sure that there is an address, full address to your website and a backlink. You'll also find you can get it on Pinterest, you can get it on Twitter, you can get a backlink from anywhere on the internet, including YouTube and Google+. So it's just a reference. It's a reference where Google or any of the other search engines can find you. So that's my take on it. I'm going to hand you over to Dave, who's going to give us a little more detail and be a little more technical about it, because that's his thing.
Yeah, this is the technical part of the discussion. Keeping it really simple though, what Janelle said is exactly right. A backlink is exactly that, a link back to you from somewhere else. That somewhere else has a value from an SEO point of view. So if your entire purpose is to build a website and get some traction by being noticed by the search engines, then backlinks are the key way to do it, because the link is the web, and the webs are made of links. The rest is just like your website in between. So you want lots of links back to your website. How do you get them? Good question. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can go and actually purchase them. There are companies out there that will quite happily sell you backlinks, and yeah, you sort of pay for what you get. So I guess you could buy them, and I guess you could spend a lot of money, and I guess you get some traction. Your call. Your mileage will vary. It does depend on your niche, your business, what category you're in. If you're in a very competitive business, like say nutrition, man, you're going to have to spend a lot of money buying backlinks to get some traction, because there's a whole lot of people doing nutrition.
So like the health and wellness.
Absolutely, yeah, that is a classic. Anything to do with very popular sites, very things that people are really interested in, like paleo for a while, that was massive. So getting backlinks from paleo was pretty hard to do.
Yes. So
things come in, things leave, but there's always going to be those basic businesses, which is what I like, the plumbers and the butchers, the bakers, the candlestick makers. Those guys are going to be around. They're the fabric society, so they're the ones that need the backlinks the most, because if you've bought a business or you want to get a web presence up, then you need links from similar types of businesses. That's the one way to think about it, because Google loves a crowd, because the crowd's popular. So when you're buying backlinks, always try and find out whether your backlink provider can give you that, what we call relevance, theme relevance, niche relevance. Yeah, that's one way to think about it. So businesses like yours or affiliated with yours, that would help you rank. If you were to rank them, they would also rank you. So there's a sort of you would almost see it as a two-way ranking.
So it's a bit like a reference. If you give somebody a good reference,
absolutely,
a good referral,
yeah,
then Google or Bing or Yahoo or whoever will.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we'll like that.
Yeah, because that's really what it comes down to. If someone trusts you, then by implication, someone's going to trust the person you trust.
Okay. So niche, when we're actually talking about niche, there might be a question about what it actually is, but when you can actually niche, and some places recommend that you niche right down. You might find that you're actually a florist, and if you're a florist, you specialise in a certain type of, say, Australian native flowers. You might even specialise in Australian native flowers only grown in New South Wales and Victoria. So what you'll find is that becomes your niche, you're narrowing it down further and further and further. And that's what we're referring to when we're talking about having a niche.
Absolutely. It can be as broad as you want or as narrow as you want.
That's right.
You define your niche really, and therefore your backlinking should sort of follow that niche strategy. Doesn't have to exactly, but that's what we've found lately to be the best solution, because in the early days of Google, like 2 years ago, you could basically get backlinks from anywhere, and Google go, oh cool, you're pretty popular because all these people are pointing back to you, all these websites are pointing back to you, so obviously you've got some relevance. Now they're getting a lot clever, more clever I should say, and that linking strategy doesn't work as well as it used to, because Google's looking at the link in real time and saying, nah, not good, chuck that one away, so you lose a point basically, so you're down to your basic points. You want more points, not less points. So the link does matter so much.
So if you want to be found, you do need to do backlinking. You do need to understand the concept. You don't necessarily need to understand how it does, because there's people like us around who can help with that. But it is a good idea if you've got a website and you want to get your business out there on the website to do that. Make it part of your branding as well.
Absolutely.
And we're going to have a bit of a discussion about branding sometime in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. This whole series is designed, as Janelle and I sort of thought about in the beginning, to help educate you as to what SEO is, what your web design and website needs to have, how it should be built. Now, these are things that you need to understand and have sort of back of mind at least. So when you're thinking about your online presence, it's not just a grey sort of, there's stuff out there, it's the web, I can spell it, but that's about it. You want to sort of have a bit of understanding, much like you go to the mechanic and they go, the left-hand widget and the side dashboard's wrong, and you go, well, yeah, I don't know what you really mean, but I got a vague idea there's an engine in there somewhere, and there's parts in it. So we're trying to demystify that a little bit. And it's not complicated, it's just literally, I think, in a lot of cases, understanding the language. And when you understand the terms, and you know what they mean, the rest is just connecting the dots.
Also, if you want to get somebody else to do it for you, it means that you've got an idea of what you're actually asking for.
That's right. And you can gauge that person's ability to give you what you want, because, well, they call it the BS meter. We'll just go up and down based on their responses.
True.
Yeah. So that's it from me. That's enough technicalities, I think.
Okay, and that's it from me. So thanks for watching. You can find us on WebSmartGuru on the Facebook page, or you can go to WebSmartGuru.com, and we're going to have a Google channel up and running probably by this afternoon. Yeah. So you can check us out and see how it all goes. That's my end of things.
Your job.
That's right. So we'll see you, and thanks for watching the video. Don't forget, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Just keep asking until somebody answers. Bye.